Welcome, everybody. It's Mark Schultz here, and we are live once again here at the Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit. And for the next hour or so, we're going to be walking around in this beautiful atrium in the Washington Convention Center, and I'm going to have you meet some of the people that are actually here at the event. And right now, here I'm at the ATS stand, and so let's just start out by I'll just introduce the people that are with me, and we'll talk a little bit about it. So Sherry, can you tell everybody on camera and watching who you are and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Sherry Bergstrom. I work for Aviation Technical Services. Most people know us as ATS.
Yeah.
I'm the Director of Marketing, PR, and Communications.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. And can you tell everybody on camera who you are?
Sure.
What do you do, Michael?
Hi, I'm Michael Fleck. I'm the Director of Business Development at ATS as well, overseeing both components and our engineering services.
Excellent. Very good. And what I'd really like to do is a couple of things in this discussion today is I'd like for people out there to learn a little bit about who ATS is and what do you do and what services do you provide in the industry. And then we're going to come to why are you here at this event and what's the value of doing that. So let's just start out with this. Michael, let me start with you.
Sure.
Can you tell people watching, really, can you give us an idea of who really Aviation Technical Services is, ATS, and just who are they?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So ATS has been in the industry specifically in the Puget Sound area for the last 50 years. And we are a full turnkey service of MRO services. So airframe, component, engineering, and actually USM or distribution. So over the last probably 10 years, we've grown our portfolio to be more than just an MRO and doing airframe maintenance, because that's kind of a confined space within the U.S. And so we've grown our component repair business, we've grown our engineering services, and then we've, as everybody else has, got into the USM world as well. So it's been really exciting to be part of it. I've been there since about 2015 and excited to be part of the growth there.
Great. Well, let's dig in a little bit. So I know you guys started in the airframe or the heavy maintenance business.
Yes,
absolutely. The base maintenance business. And your facility, did you start in Everett up at Painfield, or where did you start from?
We actually started in Renton. Renton, and we actually started as a component repair shop.
You did?
We did.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in 1974, we got our first airplane. We started in 1970, as Michael said, 50 plus years ago. We near Alaska. How's that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, okay. All right. Okay. Well,
Bit
good.
of trivia.
Well, then, sure. Let me ask you this: is that you do have a facility up at Painfield? Then, can you tell everybody watching what do you really do? Up at that facility up there today?
It's a really cool place. As Michael said, we do airframe services, is what we call it, but it's maintenance, repair, and overhaul on commercial aircraft. Typically, a lot of Boeing 737s. Every once in a while, we'll get an Airbus in there, but narrow body here in Everett locally. We also do similar services in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
And we do VIP work over in Moses Lake, Washington.
All right. Okay. So let me break that down a little bit.
Sure.
Are you able to say who any of your customers are, or is that a forbidden word? I know sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, I'm the marketing PR person, and some I can, some I can't. So I don't want to play favorites and name some and not others.
All right. Okay. Well, I know who some of them are, so I won't say it. That's why
major U.S. airlines.
Large top 5 U.S. airlines.
There we go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Well, anyway, so doing heavy maintenance, and I've actually been there at the facility, and it's really it's a pretty amazing facility. And I've seen the work that's going on, and it seems like it's really an efficient operation. Now, I also know and understand that you've expanded, to some other locations around the U.S., and you just brought up the word Kansas City. What do you do in Kansas City?
It is very similar, heavy maintenance of aircraft, but we do bring in a few wide body there. So that's the only difference than what we have here in Everett.
And can you just tell people what your capabilities are? Not all the details, but just in general, if somebody were to say, what are your capabilities? How would you respond to that?
I'll let Michael do that one,
okay.
Even though I can. But I feel like I'm hogging the mic.
All right.
Well, from a capability standpoint, from airframe maintenance, it's really everything from a line check to a full-blown, what they used to call D-check, where you're stripping the airplane down to essentially bare bones. An example of that is we had a transition aircraft come in for one of those named customers from someone else, and we strip the aircraft down. We remove all the interiors, all the windows, all the seats, the galleys, and really get it down to just structure.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting to have folks come in and see that, because especially folks that are on a production facility, because they see the aircraft coming together. But I've ran many tours through our organization of Boeing folks where they see the airplane being taken apart and then put back together.
Yeah.
And the process that it goes through that is really unique in this world.
It's pretty incredible. It really is. So
it is.
That's really it's great to know. And are there specific aircraft types and models? You said narrow bodies, wide bodies. I know you do 37s, and you said you just do some wide bodies as well.
Yeah, our bread and butter is 37.
Okay.
I think we've probably re-delivered more 37s than anyone in the industry.
Okay.
And that's where we've really, I'll say, our expertise lies.
Okay.
But we know that you can't just rely on one 737 or kind of thing like that. So we've actually gone out and looked at Airbus, single aisle, and some twin aisle. But again, anytime you go outside of kind of your core competencies, you got to start thinking about the tooling and the investment for that.
So one of your core competencies then are the 737. And if I were to ask you, listen, I know people out there have a lot of options. They could do a lot of different places they could go to have their airplane worked on. Why should I come to ATS? What's unique?
Well, I mean, Sherry, I know Sherry has an answer for this. So, I mean,
this is your moment to shine.
I know. I'll defer to Sherry on this, and then I'll kind of give my little flavor on it.
Why? Well, number one, we've been in the industry a long time. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We've got processes in place, systems, safety system that's been approved by the FAA. Like I say, going back to 1974. We take pride in our work. We have great technicians, the maintenance technician, that just really care about their product, and they work, to do it right every time.
Yeah, and I know you move a lot of airplanes. I don't know how many there are, but I've actually looked at some of the volume that you do, and you do a lot of volume and a lot of high quality, and that record stands for itself.
Yeah.
And so I think that in itself, is something that's really important about ATS. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that I would just echo everything that Sherry said, but also flexibility. In this world, and especially in airframe maintenance, you have the unexpected happen every day. And so our team of folks have really found a way to manage flexibility. And that seems like, how do you manage flexibility? But it's really trying to know what your customer needs and anticipate those demands, and then dealing with change. And so our folks, and I'm happy to say that I've been in the aviation industry for 25 years, but the way that we deal with change in support of our end customer and getting them their product, because the longer it sits in our hangar, the less money that they're making, right?
Yeah. So
the ability to deal with that change in a very flexible environment is something I think that makes ATS very unique in this niche market.
Yeah, you had a whole bunch of stuff there. I've been in the industry long enough, and I've worked with a lot of MROs that I know the things that are important. And having a predictable delivery, that's high quality and doesn't come back, with problems, in it are very important. And you were hitting on something there. You were saying flexibility, and I usually go back and say agility. Is that you have the agility to be able to adapt to what the customer's needs are and what's happening in the market, and the demands of the things that are happening around you. And I've seen that. And for those of you watching, ATS is an amazing company, and you've done a really good job. And the fact that they're supporting some of the largest airlines in the U.S. Really speaks for the capabilities and the quality, because how demanding it is out there. If you weren't delivering for them, you'd be gone. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the big difference. So let's shift to the second half of what I wanted to talk about quickly. And this particular event that we're at right now, the Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit, Seattle. Okay. This is not a traditional kind of event. Why would you come here? What's the value in you coming here?
Well, I think Michael, before working for ATS, worked at Boeing, and so he knows what it means to be a Boeing-approved supplier. And so coming into this building with others that have been, approved by one of the best in the industry, says something. So to be around other people with like minds, have been endorsed, and the conversations that we can all have, we talk on the same playing field. We want the best for the industry, not just for your own company. It's a whole aerospace ecosystem, and so just coming here together and collaborating is why we're here.
Yeah, I would say, Mark, the nice thing about this show that I would find that's different from MRO or some of the other shows is the nature of collaboration that exists here. Okay. I kind of feel like, in some cases, you're trying to sell back to, I'm trying to sell my goods and you're trying to sell me your goods. But here we're really looking at, well, how can we help each other in this ecosystem that we all exist in, right? I have this need, oh, I have this demand, and how do we help each other with that? And that's what I found different about the conversations, at least I've had so far. This is our first year here, but it's been exciting to kind of listen to. Like yesterday, we got to listen to kind of the state of the state from Boeing's perspective, and kind of what their expectation for the global supply chain is. And you heard the same word, the same message and words all the time. And so it's nice to be able to go have those conversations with suppliers to say, hey, I have a need for this type of outside service, be it nickel plated, chrome, or something like that. But the spirit of collaboration is really big here.
No, I see that, because we've talked to the event organizer, and the main purpose that they're trying to do in this event is they're trying to create an environment where the OEMs can meet with suppliers and they can understand each other's needs and requirements and come together and be able to do business together. That's the bottom line. And there aren't many events out there, like this. And quite frankly, I'm glad to see you're here saying this is your first year, because I don't think that they have many MROs that have attended events like this. And so that, again, must say something about the quality of what you're doing and why they would put you together, with OEMs and say that these guys are capable of meeting the needs, of the OEMs that are out there. Great.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we're definitely in a different space than probably the 90% of the suppliers here, because we're not a production facility. We are an aftermarket facility, but being able to network with some of these really awesome suppliers, and then of course having the Boeing team here is really cool.
Well, we're going to be doing some more interviews around here in this space, and with some of the other companies that are here, like Boeing's out here, and KL Aero, and a few others. But
sure,
thank you so much for taking time to have this conversation with us. I know that BCI Aerospace, who is the coordinators of this event, really appreciate your attendance. And so for those of you watching, Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit Seattle is put on by BCI Aerospace, and they do about 20 events a year. And this is one of their events that they do, where their main goal is to bring together suppliers and OEMs to be able to create connections and the ability to be able to do business together. Follow along today as we have some more interesting interviews, and I hope you're getting some value out of this. And I look forward to seeing you on the next broadcast. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Bye now.